I need a French coach.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la.
If you've been to France, chances are you haven't been here. France's second largest city, the oldest city in France. It sits right by the Mediterranean. The food is famously good, yet it's a victim of bad reputation, bad history. Marseille, as it turns out, exactly the kind of place I like. But this is a buddy picture, isn't it? Eric Ripert is the chef of the 3-star Le Bernardin in New York, the Chevalier of France. I think that means he's some kind of knight or something. And my friend. This causes him some problems. He, I like to remind him, has a reputation to protect. I do not.
Welcome to Marseille.
Yeah,
You've never been here.
never.
How is this even possible? You grew up how far from here?
Like 50 miles, 100 miles.
You grew up 100 miles from here. What prevented you from coming to this clearly
I have no idea.
beautiful city? Because it's clearly beautiful.
It's a fantastic city. I mean, it's beautiful, I agree with you. But it has the reputation of being a dangerous city.
You live in New York. I should point out that every single Frenchman who have said, you know, I'm shooting in France, and they say, oh, really, where? And I say Marseille, their face drops immediately. They're like, oh, no.
Why that? Because they think it's ugly?
Do you know what they say? They say, this is not France.
With a Z like that?
This is not France.
Merci beaucoup, madame.
Well, I'm looking forward to the week.
Yeah.
This is a low-impact show.
What is a low-impact show?
It means I'm not, you know, paddling upriver. It means I get a flush toilet, eating well constantly.
You like luxury.
I do. Look, I do. I like a fluffy hotel towel. I like a bidet. Look, I like warm jets of water squirting up my ass. I mean, who doesn't?
Oh.
I could retire here.
I could retire here too.
You see, that's the sort of the measure of a place for me, is like if you start thinking thoughts like that, that must be nice. I could live there. Just me and my watercolors, you know, just puttering.
I'll do that.
When you retire, are you going to putter? What do you know what putter? Putter means?
No.
Dicking around. Basically, you wake up and maybe you paint a little.
I can't paint.
You know, well, okay. Do you knitting? Make a sweater.
I don't think I have a luck. Why am I here? I will try to go fishing. I've never catch anything in my life.
Do you actually fish? Do you know how to fish? Do you ever fish?
I don't know how to fish.
I'll show you how. All you need is a car battery and a couple of cables. Trust me, you get all the fish you want.
Yeah,
They come right up.
You end up in jail, dude.
Well, there's other ways. How do you say dynamite in French?
Dynamite.
Dynamite. See,
Yeah,
I do speak French.
You can tell. You know it's coming, right? You can sense it. Oh no, another fishing scene.
This is our vessel here on the right.
Très bien, merci, et vous-même.
Oui, Eric?
Bonjour, monsieur. Don't
Eric Fromu is one of only a handful of old-style fishermen who work the sea the old-fashioned way.
Do you see yourself fishing?
No.
It's stressful to me.
Right. I always think I'm going to catch, like, my testicles or my ear with the hook. You know, I have a fear of fish hooks. Yeah, he's catching denti.
Yeah, he said it's the
uh,
best fish of the Mediterranean. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, hopefully we'll see.
Well, hopefully we'll test it. Well, he's supposed to deliver to Le Petit Nice.
Oh, that's right.
Eric works exclusively for this man, Gérald Passedat, the extremely demanding chef-owner of Le Petit Nice, Marseille's only 3 Michelin star restaurant.
I'm waiting for my fisherman, actually. It won't be long. It depends what the Mediterranean Sea will offer to us.
So it's a long liner, Tony.
And how long is the line?
Well, he says he has about, today, 300 hooks.
So he basically lays it out at night,
Yeah.
comes back,
And pick it up.
pulls it in.
Yeah.
Maintenant, il faut virer tout le matériel.
Combien il y a de pêcheurs à Marseille qui vivent comme vous?
Dans ce travail-là,
Dans ce travail comme ça, là, ouais.
on reste 5.
Wow! In Marseille, it's only 5 guys. 5 fishermen who are working like him.
Wow.
You know, he has 300 hooks.
He's arriving, he's arriving.
This must be the 12th fishing season. No, I must have done 20 fishing seasons in my life, and I think I had one good day out of all of them. Other than that, it's been one humiliating goat rodeo after another. Ordinarily, our typical fishing scene actually would be rougher than this. So we'd be pitching back and forth, and I'd be hanging on to the contents of my stomach, only by realizing that they're feeling even sicker because they have to look through the viewfinder.
True, yeah,
so
of
they're
course.
like, so it's basically, you're playing this sort of race against time kind of a game. It's like, who's gonna puke first?
Yeah.
It's always the camera dudes, though.
Is it?
No, generally it's a producer.
Les mauvaises journées, ça va arriver. Mais alors celle-là, je la marquerai d'une pierre blanche, je te le dis.
He said, bad days, I had some bad days, but this one,
This is the worst.
this is the worst.
Well, there it is, another extraordinarily successful fishing scene in the can. Time to reap the rewards awaiting us back on dry land.
You'll tell me if there's like any oiled up Amazons behind me.
Behind you?
Right, frolicking naked.
Yeah. Right now, they're kind of like mature Amazons, but
Ah.
it will happen.
Ah, here's the chef.
Super. Anthony Bourdain.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. An honor, sir.
Would you mind to have the bouillabaisse?
We don't
Is it a
mind.
good
we want
idea,
it.
or
We want
it's
it.
a
will you
very
change
good-
your mind? I don't know.
No, it's a very good idea.
There's reinvented, deconstructed, and then, usually, there's the thing itself. Passedat's take on bouillabaisse, without a doubt, Marseille's most famous dish, is spread out over 4 courses. First, shellfish carpaccio of raw mussels and clams.
Man.
Ça, c'est super, hein? And they're raw, of course, and they slice the mussels raw. That's crazy. Wow.
When I decided to make this bouillabaisse, I had the inspiration when I was a child, on those rocks, you know, when I was with my knife opening the mussels, eating the mussels. In my cuisine, there is no cream, no butter. It's not traditional at all. It's just based on the fish. This is my way of thinking my cuisine here for myself.
Slipper lobster, weaver, angler, and red gurnard. Lightly seared, then a touch in the oven.
The future. Oh, whoa.
Oh.
This is just incredibly beautiful.
It's so delicate and at the same time flavorful and powerful.
Oh, this is insanely good.
A broth so intense, it requires over 10 kilos of rock crabs and various bony, tasty little fishes to make just 1 kilo of brown, gloriously brown, magical liquid. Dorade and denti, steamed over seaweed water. Saffron potatoes, and then finally comes that magical brown broth.
Oh.
Wow.
Ça, c'est sérieux. Ah. Dorade.
Saint-Pierre et ça. Simple, tu vois. Passe comme ça par direct, voilà.
La soupe est bonne, hein?
Tu vois?
Oh, man.
This is unbelievable, huh? You taste
The entire fish you're eating, you know.
And just when my brain threatens to short-circuit with pleasure, descending as if from heaven itself. Cheese. Oh, God, the cheese.
You know what, I gotta tell you, I don't care how many naked breasts are on that beach right now, because that is much more exciting. All right, look at it. It's beautiful.
Good cheese too?
Yes? Oh, look at that. Oh, man. Oh, I love, j'adore ça. Wow. Cheese like this, that is just incredible. Merci bien. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh.
That's exceptional.
Life is good.
Life is good.
In Marseille.
It is very good in Marseille.
Marseille was once the hub, the rough-and-tumble principal port for France's colonies such as Tunisia, Morocco, and Algeria. As a result, the sights and smells of Africa permeate the city.
There has been attempts to dissuade me from, oh, Marseille, you don't want to go there. And yet I come here, correct me if I'm wrong, it is a beautiful city. It smells good. You smell the different pastries, the tagine, bouillabaisse, and bourride, and it's an extraordinary looking city, and the people are really interesting looking.
In Marseille, you are in the center of the world because the world is in Marseille. We are connected to the Mediterranean Sea, so it's very different from the north of France. I feel closer to a guy from Morocco than a guy from maybe Germany or etc. It's different.
Cédric Fabre is a Marseillais crime writer who spent decades deciphering the dense layers of crime and corruption, pastis, and sunshine. It's a perfect town for writers of noir. Plenty of atmospherics and lurid history.
Why do you think it's such a fertile ground to set a crime novel?
For me, it's more interesting because you write about the place you live in. I walk in the street, I have an idea, etc. I couldn't write about the past things like James Elroy does, because I have to know the real part of the city, the people.
Here it's a really interesting stew of characters.
In Marseille, there is a very poor area and a very rich area. The difference between those two areas is the worst in France. So that makes an interesting city, because when we write a crime novel, we write about those differences between the poor people, the rich people, etc. So that's interesting.
Famina's is an Algerian restaurant with some of the better couscous in town. And since it's a very filling dish and I've only got one crack at it, I go for the Royale. What else? Vegetables, chickpeas, merguez sausage, chicken, hunks of lamb, and meatballs.
What people say is that everybody sees themselves as Marseillais first and French second, regardless of your background. Is that true?
Because in Marseille, we love that city, it's our city. And in the same time, we hate a lot of aspects. We have both love and hate. It's part of a complex, I think. Marseille has always made the bad choices in politics. When France lost its colonies, it was an economic disaster for Marseille. I'm thinking about one of your cities in the States, Detroit. It was a huge city, it was very important.
And a beautiful.
And what happened?
Yeah. We abandoned Detroit. We abandoned it. It became too black for America to love.
Maybe France is abandoning Marseille. Sometimes people say, in Marseille, people, they are racist. I would say, in Marseille, people, they are connected with other people.
Let's hope Marseille people figure that out, because I think it's amazing here.
If you ask real Marseillais these days, what's the iconic dish? The one thing you most closely associate with home, the answer might surprise you. Pizza. Marseille, it turns out, is the pizza truck capital of France.
So this could be a whole new beginning for you, Eric.
Yes.
I always said you should have a truck.
Yeah, I'll do it with you.
Do you have pizza experience?
Never did a pizza in my life.
Does he know this?
No, he doesn't know. I'm gonna tell him. Okay, let's go.
Our employer for this episode of the Real World Geriatric Edition is Jean-Denis Martinez. His yellow truck, a rolling pizza oven, is well known in the neighborhood, meaning he's busy.
He's taking orders too.
We're not going to be good at this. This is going to be like I Love Lucy.
More like a Laurel and Hardy.
This is like a nightmare. I actually have this nightmare where like there's orders coming in and I don't understand what they are because it's in another language and I don't know where anything is and I'm falling behind. This is literally my nightmare.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Okay, get in there, man. Get, come on. Okay, Lucy, come on, man.
Shut up.
Put on this sauce. Put on this, get a spirit out there, come on.
Don't take my job.
Non, non, non, faut pas la coller.
Faut pas la coller.
Ça colle.
You don't push.
On la pose.
You don't.
On la pose, c'est tout. 3 cuillères. 3 spoons. You slappy, man. You're going nowhere, man. What the f is that?
What? I'm getting there.
It has to be even, the sauce. Champignon.
Jambon, fromage.
Okay, ham, mushroom, and cheese. Let's go.
Come on, man. The customers are backing up here. They want the pizza.
My pizza looks good, okay?
Bonsoir, tout le monde.
Take that. Give it to the lady. No. A little bit like that, and give it to the lady. A little bit like that. Like that. Okay. Good.
It's for my own.
Georgiana.
Pizza, I soon notice, is different here. Toppings are somewhat on the high end. Crème fraîche, reblochon cheese, figatelli, lardon, figs, chèvre.
Look at this line. Stop digging around with your insane perfectionism.
Tony, you want pizza, the guy?
Yes. Can you translate this for me? I think this man is speaking in profanities to me. How long have you been working on this pizza? Michelangelo worked on the Sistine Chapel for less time.
It's a line of people waiting, Tony.
Mood's turning ugly out there.
Tony, the lady wants a pizza.
He's new. I can't do anything with him.
What happened? You have a union break or what?
Yeah? Hey, this is France. Get a nice break. Have I worked my 22-hour week yet?
Another beautiful day in paradise, and we're heading out into the countryside. And as always, when embarking on a brotastic adventure, an appropriate vehicle is called for. In this case, a 1972 Citroën Maserati.
This car is sweet.
Yeah.
It's totally 70s. Hugh Hefner probably had one of these. No? Alain Delon probably had one of these. I'll bet Serge Gainsbourg.
Serge Gainsbourg, nah.
Serge Gainsbourg probably banged like Jane Birkin in the back of one of these. No, actually, you need a little more room.
Lourmarin is a 1,000-year-old town about 90 minutes from Marseille, a picture-perfect village known for its farmers' market.
Do you like green salad? If I make a green salad, you gonna eat it?
No.
This one is better, right? That one, okay. We take the female. They have a black tapenade with basil.
Yeah.
Or like the traditional one.
Let's go traditional.
Traditional, okay.
No time to mess around here.
We're gonna eat like pigs.
So what else is new?
We need the saucisson and the olive
Yeah,
oil.
definitely. And some bread.
And the bread.
Oh, and wine.
And the wine.
A very, very, very expensive wine.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're blowing out the budget.
Et le Gigondas, il est pas aussi bon que le Châteauneuf.
Pareil, mais c'est un peu inférieur.
Okay, good. Need more money.
So we open 2 reds.
Je laisse comme ça, hein.
We're gonna be smashed. Il travaille pour le pinard. Ok, on est bon avec ça, super.
Ciao. Merci, ciao.
Merci beaucoup.
We'll be needing that. Okay, that's our cheese selection. Here's our pomme de terre, which I will be artfully plating. Bacon like a meatloaf all of a sudden. You go from freezing to high heat to, I'm telling you, it's Provence. It's like,
It's rough, huh?
it's rough.
Hey, this is not bad, huh?
By the time we're halfway through this bottle, you'll think this is as good as the finest Bordeaux. And by the way, We're not suggesting, advising, recommending, or in any way condoning the driving of a motor vehicle, especially a high-powered Italian-French hybrid, while drunk, because that would be wrong.
No, we're gonna take a nap before.
Right, until our blood alcohol level is in alignment with all local regulations and laws.
I'm gonna put salt on the tomatoes. Like that. Oh, that's gonna be good like that.
You know Martha Stewart pretty well. You've been on her show a lot.
Yeah.
Give me an honest answer.
Yeah.
In a street fight, could Martha Stewart choke me out?
I think if she goes to the dark side, yeah.
I think so, too. This is not like my show at all, actually. I'm gonna get shit for this, I'm telling you. You're not keeping it real anymore, man. I mean, look, you know, it looks like a wine label. As a Buddhist, does this worry you?
I'm sorry?
As a Buddhist, does this worry you, considering how well this life has turned out for you?
No, it's good karma from my previous life. I have to.
But how long could that karma last?
Until it's dead, it ends.
When do you think that might be?
Anytime soon, you never know. Karma switch like that, boom, done.
What would you not want to come back as? What would a worst-case scenario be, if like next life?
How many chances do you have to be born as what you are, what I am, in that entire universe?
Isn't that worrying to you? The next life cannot possibly be better than this. It's probably gonna suck. I mean, the best case scenario, you know, in our next life, maybe if you get to sit in a sub shop in Asbury Park, New Jersey, that will be the greatest day of your life. That would be the best case
But the
scenario.
most challenging,
You end up, you know, a mime. A diseased itinerant mime wandering the streets scrounging for money. Or worse.
You're a desperate case. I don't know what
I'm
to
just
do
saying,
with
how
you.
much better could it be than this? Enjoy every minute of this now, Eric. And pray that this is it. That at the end of the day, they roll you into a hole in the ground and your diet for worms. Because if you're right, and there is a next life, we are fucked, my friend.
Well, the ultimate idea is to be enlightened, to come back and help as many people as you can. So all phenomena of life and what you perceive as reality is ultimately one. Let's leave it at that.
Serenity now. Cheers.
Cheers.
With our bellies full, we're now prepared for the challenge to come. This is Robert and Danielle of the village's Petanque team. The hilltop village of Roussillon is where our epic battle is to take place. 4 men enter Thunderdome. Only 2 shall leave.
Now look at these guys. We're totally getting hustled. Yeah, we're in trouble.
Now they're not joking anymore.
No. USA.
Oh, we have 1 point.
All right, so our humiliation is not total. That's all we really were looking for.
It's only what we care.
Okay,
The
success.
rest we don't care.
Okay, which one is me?
I don't know.
Keep oh, jeez. Oh, he's nestled. Oh.
Jinx it. You know you do hamsa. That's the jinx. Hamsa. Do hamsa. See? Told you.
You're wishing evil on others. You're totally coming back as a sea cucumber. We're right to the floor with these yokels. It's like Deliverance in reverse.
Oh, no. We have not.
What is it, 10-10 now?
10-10. This is the winning point.
I know, you're so into this. I can't believe it. You're so competitive.
My jacket.
Oh, yeah, blame your jacket. There you go. Oh, USA. Whoa. I've never seen him so happy. All right, it's Miller time.
Monsieur.
Santé.
Santé.
Merci. I've never seen this side of you, man. I don't know what to think.
I cannot believe it. I'm like, wow.
They call them Les Calanques, the many coves or fjords cutting through the rock and soil of the coast on both sides of the city. They are a distinctively beautiful feature of an already beautiful area. But no matter how beautiful the cliffs and chasms of Les Calanques, I sure as hell wouldn't care to dive straight into water of indeterminate depth from a great height. No, I would not do that.
Welcome to my bedroom.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's where you jump?
Yes.
From here?
18 meters.
It's only 18 meters?
Yes.
It looks like it's much more.
Lionel Franc, known to his friends as Lulu, grew up around Les Calanques. And yes, he would do that. He does it almost every day.
You're very close, huh?
I like
so you have to like propulse
Yes.
yourself?
Yeah, I push.
Oh, I can't even look at you doing that. Oh,
That's it? You done?
I'm done. I'm don't like heights. Oh, jeez. I look at him and my calves start turning to jelly. Yeah, you
look at the fish. Tony.
Wow.
Look at the fish. C'est quoi
Wow.
comme poisson,
Ça,
ça?
ce sont des loups.
So after you belly flop and your food squirts out both ends of you, the fish will feed
That's why
on
they're
it.
coming.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Oh, look at that. Exactly like me in the morning, before breakfast.
Okay, good for me.
Votre toast, je peux vous le rendre, Seigneur, Seigneur, car avec les soldats, il est torero, peuvent entendre, pour plaisir, ils ont les combats. Le cirque est place et jour de fête, le cirque est plein du haut en bas. Les spectateurs perdent la tête, les spectateurs sans la peine en gros flacon.
Ooh. Hey, all right. Come on, man, you can do that.
I don't know.
Impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Does he get paid for that?
I don't know. Look, as long as he's not a mime, I'm okay with it.
It's definitely not a mime.
Even the smell of mime makeup, I start to tremble with fear.
So it's a phobia.
It's a serious phobia.
Yeah.
Don't like it. Mimes, clowns, nurses' shoes. Those white nurses' shoes?
Oh, the clogs.
No, they're super comfortable, and they're white,
Yeah.
but not like super white because they've been, walking through various bodily fluids and there's a little speck of blood or urine on it, but that's true terror. Wow.
Félicitations, bravo. Hein.
Mais tu vois, il faut pas paniquer dans ces cas-là. No panic.
Yeah.
Tu plane like this. S'il y a du vent ou pas, you keep like this. Si tu bouges, c'est la catastrophe.
Missed it by that much.
Too many men on this show. It's a freaking bro fest. Like most places, the overwhelming majority of chefs in Marseille are men. However, each month, Georgiana Viou hosts a dinner for her female colleagues. Chefs, all.
Everybody here a chef in the business?
Yeah.
How many more are there like you? The other women chefs?
Maybe 3 or 4 in Marseille.
France kind of matches
Yeah.
country, and if you want to find your place in a brigade, it's very difficult when you are a girl, really.
But actually, like in Mediterranean, the example for cooking, the basic, is called la cuisinière provençale.
Yes.
Yes.
Because if you want to have good food, you don't go to a restaurant in Marseille that much. You know that your grandmother or your mother will cook much better.
Georgiana is from Benin, via Nigeria and London, but beyond all else, she's Marseillaise. Beef tartare with botarga, dried mullet eggs, apple, and celeriac. Counterintuitive, one would think, but truly amazing and delicious.
I'm coming from Paris, and I used to cook with butter and cream and whatever. And today, I can't imagine my cuisine without olive oil, without vegetables, without seafood, without spices. And on the top, you're going to put some poutargue. It will be the salt of the tartare.
It's a good idea, right? It's better than putting anchovies.
If you want, you can do it at Le Bernardin, and you call it Georgiana's tartare.
I'm gonna do it. I'll send you the picture.
Sure. For me, hein?
Seriously, I'm gonna do it.
Ah, cool. Trop bien.
And my single favorite Marseillais classic, pied et paquet, a dish which encapsulates everything I love and believe in about food. First, the hair on the sheep's foot is burned off. The meat is then tenderized and cut into pieces. Sheep's tripe is cleaned and cut into squares. Each piece is stuffed with onions, parsley, garlic, and salt pork before being rolled and wrapped into small pouches. These are stewed for several hours in a sauce of white wine, tomatoes, bacon, onion, and carrots, along with the sheep's foot.
I love this dish.
I love this dish too.
This is everything I believe in food. This is just absolutely the top.
It's a dish with soul. To make it good, you have to put your soul into it.
Yes.
And if you don't have it, you don't have real paquet.
I like it here. He's already thinking about retiring here.
In Marseille?
Yeah. He said I could retire here.
I said I could retire here, yeah. Yeah, why not?
No, I'm happy to hear that.
Get me like...
To hear that.
It's not an easy city. It is not a museum, Disneyland, you know. Everything is kind of dirty and complicated. But when you are in Marseille and just you have the fantastic light and the sea and you can have the best fishes, yes, you are home. I mean, it's just like being home.
Marseille is not France in the best possible way. Algerians, Moroccans, Italians, their cultural and culinary influences have enriched Marseille with flavors and colors all their own. But there's another major influence, the Corsican Mafia, who, to be fair, along with their Italian and Sicilian colleagues, did kind of run things around here for much of the last century. Those days are mostly over, and the Corsican presence has dwindled to a few thousand, which is a shame because Corsica produces some of the most wonderful charcuterie and cheese anywhere.
There's a lot of preparations with the pancetta and the cheeks.
Awesome. Well, we want everything.
Umillo Pace, a cured meat and cheese shop run by Marie Paul and family, still going after 70 years.
Famously or notoriously, or however you want to put it, this was a Corsican town. I mean, when I would go to Arcachon as a kid,
Yeah.
my aunt, probably a typical, you know, sort of xenophobic French woman of her generation, said all, you know, oh, the Corsicans, you know, they're all gangsters or policemen.
Ah, très bien, merci.
Oh, today just got better. Lovely.
That's no
Thank you.
joke.
Very flavorful.
Oof, this one is unbelievable. The flavor of that is
Yeah,
unbelievable.
they're not dicking around.
It lingers too.
I love this. This makes me happy. Want some? Here, have a piece. Here.
Who wants some? Hey, this is the copa. This one is special. Ah, c'est pour toi.
All right, let's move on. Some cheese. Ah, look at that. That's beautiful.
Those ones are milder and young. Those ones are strong.
Ooh, wow. That is some.
It looks very
Wow.
inoffensive, but it's like, ooh.
That is some deep funk. That is some. Wow. See, when I eat cheese like this, and I drink wine like this, I start thinking about my Don Cheech fantasies. Maybe you saw Godfather 2?
Yeah, of course.
I just think I could just spend the rest of my life sitting in a hill in Corsica, eating goat cheese and drinking wine and having my enemies killed by remote control.
I would love to live that lifestyle, except for killing enemies. As you know, I'm not killing anyone, but
I've never seen you wish ill on anyone. As long as I've known you, you've never even said, that rat bastard, I hope something really bad happens. I hope he gets stomach cancer. Or you've never even said, I hope he loses his girlfriend. You've never wished ill on anyone. So
I don't.
let me ask, in your darkest heart of hearts, do you ever stray? Do you ever find yourself thinking, oh, I really hope they just, I don't know, I hope they get herpes. I wish ill on people every day.
sorry, Tony. You know, I mean, cheers to hell.
It's a big night in Marseille. The city's football team, that's soccer team to you, is playing, which means the whole city's watching. Eric and I head to the hipster Plaine neighborhood to meet up with Gilles Roff, a filmmaker and sports writer for France's top newspaper, Le Monde.
So tonight, the big game.
Yeah.
It's Marseille, Lille.
It's Lille against Marseille because it's in Lille. It's not
in
here.
Lille. So we get to watch it on TV. And will all of Marseille be watching this?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be watching.
You know, we did a very good season, but at the end of the season, we are only fourth.
So it's a must-win.
It's very important. So it's a must-win today.
Right. So the dream of every Marseillais, the perfect season would be to see Marseille crush Paris and then move on and go all the way.
They don't want to be second to Paris, you know?
Right.
They want to be second to none. And in football, it's one of the only issues where they can be first. That's why people here love so much their soccer team, because it's the place where you can show your identity. If you go all around those streets and you ask people, where are you from? They will tell you, oh, I'm from Algeria, I'm from Morocco. But if you ask them, what is your favorite team? They will say, Olympique de Marseille. Because they are a part of the city. They are from this city, and the football team is the flag of this city.
On a gagné. Santé.
About 75 years ago, the properties around Les Calanques were mostly farmland. Then small shacks or cabanons that working-class families from the city used as weekend getaways. No running water or indoor plumbing. Simple, a place to get together, have a long, whiny lunch.
Hello.
You can't build new ones, and the ones that are here, like this one, owned by Dominique and Nathalie Lefrère, have been in the same family since the 40s, and they ain't going anywhere.
Is this area protected? Meaning, if I wanted to open a giant modern hotel across there, is impossible, right?
Actually, it was just like a couple of years ago. It was kind of scaled up on the protection level, so nothing's going to happen now.
And most of these properties are owned by the same family for many years.
Mon père, il venait en 1939, 1939.
Right.
But we lived in Marseille, and we came here for a weekend.
That's nice.
Lunch is being prepared by André Guidicelli, known around here as Day-Day. Panisse, crispy fried fritters of chickpea, which go really well with Nathalie's aioli. And one of my favorites, murex, Mediterranean sea snails simmered in a courte bouillon of garlic, wild fennel, and orange peel.
That's the taste of this region for me. It's garlic,
Yeah.
olive oil,
Yeah.
saffron,
Sure.
anise.
Anis, exactly.
And look at this. Look at this. Sardine, lightly marinated in lemon and olive oil. You can pretty much rub that all over me. I don't care.
It's so good, so fresh.
Perfect happiness for me. Eating oily little fish in a garden. Okay, so we've discussed the characteristics of the true Marseillais.
Yeah.
Is Marseille France?
Ah, alors ça c'est une bonne question. Est-ce que Marseille c'est la France, ouais?
Non. Je suis français. Je suis français.
Right.
Mais Marseille, ça passe avant. Je pense que votre région, ça passe avant.
You're loyal to New York before America.
Well, that's true. Hey, so what about the people? What do all true Marseillais have in common?
Un gros menteur.
Ah,
a big liar.
They have the reputation of exaggerating. So if you eat sardines like that, you like, our lunch we had sardines like this.
Daube de pulp, octopus stew, slow-cooked in wine and typical elements of Provençal cooking like star anise, dried orange peel, garlic, and tomato. Spoon over pasta and enjoy.
Oh, yes. I can smell that octo stock. It's fantastic.
Je propose un banc pour Dédé. Non, bravo. Bravo.
So when are you retiring? At what age?
As soon as possible. Seriously? Right?
You want to come back?
Yeah, I don't want to leave. I mean, when you see that lifestyle, I mean, people come from all over Europe by highways, they spend hours in their car to be here. I mean, my grandparents and my uncles used to have that lifestyle, like exactly like that.
Right.
And I forgot about it. Now I'm remembering.
I'm telling you, our chain of cynical surf and turf restaurants, we can cash out in 2 years.
If it is to be here, yeah, I'll do it.
You heard it here first.
Adieu, belle ville. Adieu à tout jamais. J'aurai pour tout bagage que ta douce et tendre pensée.
Modern Turkey was founded in 1923 on the principles of secular, democratic statehood after centuries of empire.
It has been the most turbulent year in a decade of Turkey's political history.
Turkey had set a new course, one that many hoped would carry it into the European Union.
There's clearly a significant portion of the Turkish population that's not happy with the policies of the democratically elected government.
But things have changed. They are changing.
You get clashes erupting, demonstrators throwing rocks.
And what happens next has implications far beyond Turkey.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la la la la, sha la la la la la, sha la la la la, sha la la la la la.
It has been a turbulent year for Turkey. And I arrive in Istanbul at the moment of a critical election. The question on everyone's mind is whether the current president and his ruling party will win a large enough majority to change the constitution, potentially allowing him to stay in power indefinitely. These have been good times for some, particularly in the construction and development business, and fearful ones for others. They are particularly concerned about what happens next, for instance, in the Kurdish parts of town.
polls are open in Turkey as voters choose a new parliament, which could lead to big changes in the country's political system.
The ruling Justice and Development Party is expected to take most of the seats.
But how much power the president actually has will be determined by the success or failure of the Kurdish party.
The HDP, originally a Kurdish political party, has sought to unite the disparate voices calling for change in response to 13 years of what has essentially been one-party rule by the AKP. So, history, whatever it might be, is about to happen.
Just in the past hour, polls have closed in the country's parliamentary elections.
Voters in Turkey have just shaken up their country's political landscape in a major way. They said no to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his push for more power over the constitution.
The ruling AKP party did not win the majority its president had hoped for. In fact, they lost seats in parliament. And for the first time, the pro-Kurdish party gained enough votes to earn a real voice in the government.
At the very tip of Istanbul, next to the Black Sea. So the ships that are going by here, they're basically going to Russia.
I meet an old friend, Esra, for my first meal back in country.
I know you like your fish with the head and the tail.
So this is perfect.
I ordered some rakı.
Oh, that's makes me so happy.
Yes, which is our national drink. It is aniseed and...
I am familiar with this drink, all too familiar. Cheers.
Welcome back.
So, since I last saw you, which was 2009. 2009, wow, a long time ago. So Istanbul looks a little different than last time I was here. It looks a little more like every other city.
Yeah. Well, construction.
There seems to be a lot of that going on.
Yes.
Your president likes to build stuff. He likes to pour
concrete. It
concrete.
keeps the economy going. Turkey is so much politicized since the last time you came. Like, after 2011, the daily life issues like how many children you should have, advising women not to laugh out loud in public, things like this were actually suggested by the government.
Right. Now, do you think this is coming from a genuine ideological, religious place, or is this a political calculation?
I think it's a genuine...
You're telling me that the current leadership is, in his heart, is genuinely opposed to alcohol, women laughing in public?
Maybe I don't feel comfortable answering that question.
Okay.
Turkey's most famous politician, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. He is the power, and has been the power in one form or another for more than a decade. He is the face of Turkey's ruling Justice and Development Party, the AKP. Erdogan has in recent years made Islamist politics mainstream, and while remaining very, very popular in this extremely polarized nation, cracked down hard on media, political opposition, free speech, and of course, demonstrations. In 2013, the almost revolution in Turkey happened. A protest to contest the proposed demolition of Istanbul's Gezi Park resulted in a brutal crackdown by the police. In response, ordinary Turks, unconnected by any particular ideology, poured into the streets. With the whole world watching on social media, they too were met with force. In the end, Erdogan remained firmly in control, and there were repercussions for many who had supported the protest. From that point on, media, social media, even open discussion of issues or events became treated as hostile acts by foreign enemies. Autocrats in general are not famous for their sense of humor. So it's no surprise that comedians in Turkey, like Denise and her fiancé Kaan, walk a perilous line. Are these good times to be a comedian in Turkey?
It's definitely one of the best times because our former prime minister is my support for living.
We don't use the names, we just call him the greatness or, you know.
I guess they are running finals.
The finals.
Yeah.
But all weight classes. But it's basically Greco-Roman wrestling. Just greased up. As I understand it, you can't choke with two hands, only one.
Yeah.
But you can just slip your hand
right down into some greasy ass crack.
and grab whatever.
That's okay.
You find.
Tell me something. I want to know what are the rules of the game.
Turkish oil wrestling. A big freaking salad covered with oiled men in leather pants giving each other spirited and prolonged reach-arounds. Oh, geez. Can we get rights to the Barry White Greatest Hits record or Diana Ross Love Hangover? Or is that too obvious?
I like to be respectful of ancient tradition, but I mean, the jokes write themselves. And they have what? There's like ropes inside or handles or... Where do I get a pair of those pants? Those are some super freaky pants.
And did you see the golden belt? It's good too.
Well, look, it's gotta be, because I mean, the pants are awesome. Imagine what the belt looks like.
Yes.
Does he stop yelling at some point?
The announcer called Jazgır.
Yeah.
And in slang, Jazgır means the person who talks too much. It's too loud. It's time for political ads. What's changed since your last visit?
Obviously, the mood has changed a lot, which is weird because everything seemed to be going so well. Things seem to be getting more tolerant.
Tolerance level is so low these days. People taking sides, don't like the other one. These people don't like our kind.
So what happens if someone doesn't like your joke? Somebody in a powerful position does not like your comedy. What happens?
Depending on the degree, how much he doesn't like you, how much he's offended.
Let's say he's really offended.
You go to jail for being, you know, terrorist or...
Aiding and abetting the enemies of the state.
Yes, enemy of the state. Being an enemy of the state is the most common thing you can do right now in Turkey.
koşa koşa görmüş olduğunuz yer meydanında kimse kalmasın arkadaşlar. Güvenlik. Güvenlik müsabakalarında yağcı arkadaşlar.
They are asking for more oil.
More oil, immediately.
Abdullah Güngör, Samsun Lanet. Büyükşehir Belediyesi'nin pehlivanı Fatih Bakır, İstanbul.
Building boom or building bubble? Architect and city planner Murat German has been capturing Istanbul's construction boom with his camera. He employs a unique method of compressing panoramas to create a striking reimagining of cityscapes, reflecting perhaps more of the reality than a straight photo could.
I've been following what's happening in Istanbul because it's my hometown. And what's happening is that the new government is basing the supposedly booming economy totally on construction. So what they did is they started to build high-rise housing, shopping malls, and roads, and all that, but not necessarily buildings that are related to the making of culture. So all this construction is related to consumption.
Well, are these spaces needed at whatever income level? Will somebody be living in these buildings?
That's a very good question. I'm asking the same question.
First things first.
Yeah.
We'll save the world later.
This is pide, by the way.
Yes.
And it's like the Turkish version of pizza, let's say.
Pide has some similarities. I mean, there's cheese in it, dough, but it's more like a calzone, maybe. I don't know. It's an efficient delivery vehicle for, in this case, ground meat, cheese, and onions. A not-so-little torpedo straight from, I was going to say Flavor Town, but no, that would be wrong.
I want to see what you do with this. I want to see how you eat this. And what do you do with that? Will you dip in the egg? Pour it in? Or?
Yeah, exactly. This is cholesterol bomb, we call it.
There's a remarkable lack of sentimentality about really one of the most uniquely glorious looking spaces anywhere. Why don't they care?
I agree. There's a lack of sentimentality, and there's also a lack of vision, I believe, long-term vision. We have very short-term visions, mostly based on money-making.
When people look at the work you do set in Istanbul, what do you want them to see?
First of all, I really value the sustainability of a particular culture. I want my work to show, hey, look, this is what we had. I think we are already losing it, so why don't we stop here and maybe consider doing something else?
Perşembe Pazarı, long home to tradesmen, Greeks, Jews, and Armenians, groups whose populations are these days a tiny fraction of what they once were. This neighborhood, like many in Istanbul, is slated for redevelopment in the name of urban renewal.
Wow. Oh, look at that. It's a lot of food.
Cesar and his family have been running a restaurant here for nearly 20 years.
The way that we make the food, it's our own language. That's the whole idea about it.
So, the family's Armenian?
Yes.
Is the food Armenian?
This is my mom's food. Whatever we eat at home.
Authentic esnafs, or tradesmen's restaurants, are getting harder and harder to find. Most are family-owned businesses, the kind of place where you can get a classic, home-style meal of traditional dishes.
You're clearly romantic. Do you think there's a place in modern Istanbul for romantics? Or will they slowly be crushed by modernity?
Almost all the protesters, they were in that Gezi. They were romantics. They killed those people. They used real guns, but they will still continue to protest, nothing else.
So what's the future of Armenians in Turkey? Will there be more Armenians in Istanbul in 20 years or fewer?
Of course it will be less.
Less?
Yeah. Yes.
This turn towards a more conservative, more Islamist, is this a political calculation, or do you think this is genuinely how people feel now?
It's the way that people feel now. Because of the way that our dear president, the way that he talks, it's not only a political issue, it's the reality itself. I don't know what he has in mind, our president, but somehow he let people fight with, hate. But I believe that hate will be, it will make our end soon. That's what I'm afraid of. That's why I'm telling you that young generation, Armenians, they will definitely leave this country.
Wow. I hope you're wrong. I mean, I'm not really an optimistic person, but I hope you're wrong about Istanbul because it's an amazing place.
I hope you will be the one who's right.
Allah, give me help and not crash my car. Not today, maybe tomorrow. I have to pass this pass. If I don't pass this pass, no!
It is a long-held belief that if you want to know the real deal, what's really good about a town,
What a life.
if you want to know where to find the good stuff, you ask a cab driver.
Özcan bak oğlum bak. Sen de çık televizyona. I don't know, wrong way, right way, life is life, wife is wife, take it easy.
I don't know if that's true. Not in my town, anyway. But in Istanbul, I know a cab driver. My old friend, Isan.
Hello, my friend. Good to see you, my
After
brother.
all those years, to meet you again.
What a coincidence.
What a nice, I love that.
How are things in Istanbul? It looks very different. They're building stuff everywhere.
I don't know what happened, but a lot of hotel, a lot of shopping center open, more restaurant open, more disco open.
More discos.
More disco.
But I thought this is a conservative government.
Government conservative, but people, and they have to shake, they have to drink. Life too short. Abicim bura olmaz ki oğlum, yolun ortasındasınız ya. Manyak mısın lan? Most people ask me, did you make any accident? And I say, yes, I killed 2 people, 3 people, hospital. And when I pass cemetery, I say, this is Ihsan's section. They are scared. Really? How can you ask the taxi driver, did you make any accident?
Right.
Again, we cross the Galata Bridge. I love here. Look at this city here. Santa Sofia there, Topkapı Palace there, New Mosque, Süleymaniye, Golden Horn. I love this city. Yahoo! Come on, everybody! Ihsan is got crazy! Taxi driver is nice job. I love this job because you meet every time new people.
Right.
And on the way, you never get upset.
Right.
Basır! Ankara gücü! Lan kim tutar seni? Bir daha kamerayı nerede bulayım oğlum ben? Haklısın yavrum. Aslanlar gibiyim bugün, neşeliyim. I wish I dance, but I dance belly dance. Everybody say this not normal. I study about Ottoman, how to read, learning Ottoman languages. When you ask why Ihsan to learn this, because I want to read history, original.
Probably not while driving, though.
Yeah, but I'm not driving, but the traffic already stopped. Allah'ım ya Rabbi ya. If I talk too much and you're boring and I go. Take another taxi because I talk too much. Arkadaşlar ben buradayım. This is my home area.
Oh, yeah? You live in this neighborhood?
Yeah, we call this area Lokanta.
So this is a local favorite of yours, this restaurant?
This restaurant I know since 30 years.
So it's cow foot, tripes.
Tripes.
Very nice. That looks good. Man, this is just delicious. Are the young people more conservative or less conservative?
My daughter married religious person, and she has a scarf. Another daughter, young and 18 years old, short and modern. They walk together. One is scarf, one is not.
Right.
Maybe one day you invite me to America and I will be making belly dance on the American main road, taking my body.
I think probably get arrested for that.
The voice of Istanbul. I've had at least 30 names from New Rome to Istanbul. Now they say I'm between the East and the West, an identity crisis. Mine or theirs? Enough of this nonsense. Take the labels off and just look at me. You won't need a guidebook. Like all cities, I have my own sense of time. I'm a labyrinth of layers that only makes sense without a compass. If you're hesitant, not sure which way to go as you walk about, follow one of my cats. They would lead you to places, introduce you to people, point out secrets they keep even from me. They, more than anyone, are the longest continuing residents of the city. A challenge to those who see the future in my past. I'm an obstacle for those who see only the future. I see change with the patience of centuries. Look at my silhouette from the bridge on the Golden Horn. Time has not passed me by. It has protected me. I ask of you the same.
An hour ferry ride and a world away are the Prince's Islands in the Sea of Marmara. Gündüz Vasaf and his friend Seyra Yilmaz have invited me for lunch.
Actor, translator, philosopher, poet. Are these good times to be a poet in Turkey?
It is actually, because it's a way to bring down the noise, in a way. because so much words are exchanged, especially in heated political discussions.
I have become very used to and fond of this drink, by the way. Maybe too used to it and too fond of it.
They used to call it lion's milk. And a famous Turkish poet is known for saying, I wish I could be a fish in a bottle of rakı.
Serhat prepares a traditional spread of meze. Turkish meze are an extremely tasty, very diverse assortment of dishes originating in every corner of the former Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans liked to eat and entertain, and they employed armies of cooks to dazzle them with ever-changing menus, variety being key. Circassian chicken, fava beans, rice with mussels, eggplant, stuffed grape leaves, poached eggs with yogurt, all classic and all delicious.
What shall I give you? A few of everything.
Yes, please.
Yes. I'll put some, or maybe I could give you some chicken already.
Make room for that, I think. Here we go. Wow, it's really pretty. Am I getting a distorted picture of Turkey by spending all of my time in Istanbul? It's very different than the rest of the country, yeah? How different?
But I think in Istanbul you have all the different parts of Turkey also.
What does it mean to be Turkish? What do you think?
Serhat, are you Turkish?
Yes, but it's not my fault.
Man, this is so, let me say, this food is extraordinary. I mean, really, really, really amazing. But when I was here last, it was a very different mood. Now, at least, the tenor of the things said by the government are increasingly ugly and intolerant. And you've got this social activism that's very unusual. Certainly the government is sort of appealing to traditional Islamic values. Whether it's for show or not, there seems to be some reevaluation of how much of a party town do we want to be.
These days, the powers that be don't like it. And
do they genuinely not like it, or are they appealing to a political base?
no, it's populism, it's a political base. And lots of people, of course, play along, saying that they don't want to drink, etc., because that's the way you get your contracts, that's the way you get things done.
But I mean, nationalism seems to be working internally.
Yes.
Nationalism and xenophobia, it's a vote getter almost anywhere.
Well, it's a vote getter, but it's a vote loser as well, in the sense that there's so much backlash.
What do you think's going to happen?
It'll get back to normal.
Do you think it'll go back?
Oh, yeah.
Walking down Istanbul streets, it's easy to forget or not take seriously the slow but certain change in attitude towards this kind of freedom. The right, for lack of a better term, to party. The AKP is in power because a majority of voters put them there. Their attitudes, for better or worse, reflect the attitudes of a great number of Turks. This is Nuri, a Turkish businessman.
I'm glad we met you because you are an AKP supporter. You vote for AKP.
Yeah, I did.
Right.
Why?
Before, economy was so bad. No foreign investment. Interest rates were so high. Inflation was about 100% per year. So it's very hard to make business in such circumstances. In 2002, I had 70 employees. Now it's 250.
Since I got here, I've been talking to a lot of people who are very upset about the environment. They're upset about the destruction of old, beautiful buildings. To a great extent, they do not like what much of the world would call progress. So when you saw people running out in the streets and demonstrating, what was your feeling?
They said they went there for the trees. They went there for the environment. But at the end, they were together with the terrorist people. We have to accept Istanbul like this. We got nothing to do. I cannot change it. No one can change it.
No going back.
50 years ago, they could do some things, but not now.
You're not sentimental about the old neighborhoods, the old...
No. I got used to it.
This is a party town. This is a nightclub town. The impression is that there's some ambivalence there. 10 years from now, will we be able to come to this bar or a bar like it and drink lots of gin drinks and misbehave? No problem.
No problem, I think. This is still a party town.
Right.
We drink hard.
So it's all about money.
It's all about money. Everything is all about money in the world.
Who will be Turkey's bestest pal internationally? Which way are they looking, to the east or the west?
East, Russia, China, Iran, and the Arabic countries. Because West, Europe, is getting weaker and weaker day by day. The next 50 years, it's going to be the era of the East, not the West.
So these notions of like freedom of the press, these are not Eastern concepts.
No.
No, I mean, they're not.
No.
Okay, I'm going to ask a tough question. Is freedom of the press overrated?
Yeah. Yeah. It's overrated.
You think tightening up on the press is a sacrifice that you're willing to make for a good economy? I don't want to put words in your mouth. For prosperity for the majority.
It is. It's the same all over the world. It's not typical for Turkey.
Right.
That's life.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, this is a really bad idea. Okay. Cheers. Na zdrowie.
Zdrowie.
Hey! Fazla şeyleri kaldı. Hi.
That's of course. Good to see
Welcome
you.
to our park.
Oh man, I'm glad I haven't eaten yet. That is pretty awesome looking.
So have you ever had Turkish breakfast before?
With you. I love that you even do eggs in the park. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. This place is called Abbas Park. It's one of the last remaining parks in the vicinity. Since 2013, people have been gathering here in what we call forums to talk about their ideas for different, how can I say?
Debates, chats, different people gathering here at night after work, and then talking, trying to find solutions, right?
We didn't have any other place to go, so we came here.
Why is it so important?
I think it's not just for us, for future residents of Istanbul, right?
This space turned into a space of politics, a space of hope against this system, which seems to be like impossible to break, actually.
Is it impossible to break?
No, not now.
It was impossible a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago it was impossible. So you're feeling optimistic.
The hope is the revolution, you know? If you lose your hope, then there's nothing to do.
I think the tide is turning.
But for the, if we compare Arab Spring and Gezi Park things, I mean, in the Arab Spring, they are protesting against a dictatorship. But in Turkey, I think we can say that there is democracy.
Esra and her friends, previously unlikely to have known, much less come to like one another, were brought together by circumstances.
Have you been gassed?
Not that much, but yeah.
By gas, are you talking about pollution?
But I also...
Tear gas.
Oh, tear gas.
When you are getting gas together, you really connect through life or death situations. You hold each other and run away together. It was a very actually emotional thing for me because all my life I was taught to keep away from different types of people. Like I never had a Kurdish friend. I never had people around me were all like me. And I was lacking so much richness in my life. Thanks to Gezi, I saw everybody is the same.
People learned the real democracy in Gezi. People learned to speak without
like
prejudices.
Tear gas connecting people.
Tear gas connecting people.
When you just run away together.
Democracy is always a fragile thing. 92 years ago, modern Turkey was assembled from the fragments of the Ottoman Empire. It has always struggled to find a balance between those in power and the consent of its widely diverse population. Since the filming of this episode, Turkey's newly elected parliament failed to form a coalition, and President Erdogan quickly called for new elections. At the same time, he's revved up military action against Kurdish opposition forces in both southeastern Turkey and across the border in Kurdish Iraq. Many claim that he effectively plunged Turkey into conflict in a bid to take advantage of an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty and improve his party's chances of success. This is not an unreasonable assumption on anyone's part. Fear works. Fear gets votes. The opposition had hoped that the tide was turning. It remains to be seen if they have any reason to hope. This is the story of one man, one chef, and a city. Also, it's about France and a lot of other chefs, and a culinary tradition that grew up to change the world of gastronomy. It's about a family tree, about the trunk from which many branches grew. And it's about food, lots of food, great food, some of the greatest food on earth.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la la la la, sha la la la la la.
What is it exactly about this place? Over the past century, the system here, the tradition, whatever it is that took hold here, churned out a tremendous number of the world's most important chefs. Point, Chapelle, Trois Gros, Bocuse, and as importantly, influenced nearly all the rest of them.
Why Lyon? Why is this such a gastronomic capital, though? I mean, why Bocuse here? Why Trois Gros here? Why all of these great chefs?
Because Lyon it's really positioned between the north and the south.
Right.
You are locked in between Burgundy and Rhone.
Lyon, it's the second largest city in France, situated in the southeast of the country, midway between the Alps in the east and the Mediterranean to the south.
This was also a bottleneck when cars became the mode of transportation.
It goes right to the heart of the idea of the Michelin, driving the destination on the way to the...
Completely.
Out of that system came chefs like this guy, Daniel Boulud. Like Prince or Madonna, he needs really only one name. In New York or anywhere in the chef world, Daniel. The name of his three-star eponymous restaurant in Manhattan. One of many in an empire that stretches from London to Singapore. He came from here, a farm outside the city of Lyon, through the city's great kitchens to Le Cirque in New York, then his flagship.
So when did you start working with food?
14 years old, 1969. I started as an apprentice in Lyon.
He started as so many French cooks of his time did, at the very bottom, as a 14-year-old apprentice in the restaurant Nandron.
What was your first job in the kitchen?
They used to call me the beaver because I was just washing every single day. You know, they make you clean the vegetable, they make you carry all the boxes from the market.
14, you can't do that anymore, can you?
I don't think you can make him work 12 hours a day.
Right.
And pay him maybe $1 a month, you know what I mean? That's,
oh, the good old days.
Yeah, well.
Why Lyon? Why here? Look at the fundamentals, the things the Lyonnais think of as birthrights. The right, for instance, to eat delicious cured pork in unimaginably delicious forms.
The art of charcuterie, Lyonnais can't live without it.
Look at this.
Terrine, pâté, sausages, rillettes. It's an art that's revered here and widely enjoyed.
Monsieur Renaud.
Bonjour.
Merci.
Avec grand plaisir.
Tony.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Tony, voilà.
Tony.
And few names garner more respect from aficionados of pig than Renaud.
Alors, on hache le saucisson à cuire, là, en ce moment.
20 tons of saucisson just inside this room. The holiday are coming, and they're going mad with the production of saucisson.
Right.
In a relentlessly cold room, pork shoulder, belly, and fatback are fed in batches through a vertical chopper. A sprinkling of seasoning and spices. Removed in large balls of finely but not too finely chopped meat. You do not want to get your hand caught in one of these things. Then mixed to a smooth perfection with the dough hook.
Man up.
A lot of work.
Spread out and layered for consistent seasoning, formed it to shapes, and smacked to remove air bubbles.
Make sure the meat gets really tight.
Into the sausage machine and piped into organic casings. Trust me, it ain't easy.
Oh, Tony. Very light touch.
Let's see there, wise guy. Come on, let's see this. That's how you get pregnant.
It's all in the knee.
Yeah.
Just release at the end.
It's a serious workplace, but with production nearly done, this being France and all, it's time for a snack and some wine.
Doing what I'm good at, eating.
This is the saucisson à cuire.
This is so good.
Là, le sabaudet. Le vrai sabaudet, c'est ça.
Sabaudet, another of Lyon's most famous sausages, is made primarily from pig's head, with pork belly, pork shoulder, brandy, nutmeg, and allspice mixed in for flavor.
This always cooked, served hot?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's good.
That's what we're gonna eat with my father.
Oh, yeah?
I'm gonna get some here of the skin.
Saucisson de Lyon, le vrai saucisson de Lyon. Voilà, peut-être un peu trop.
Who knows he does really good work. He knows how good his stuff is, yeah. Cheers. Ah, nice. It's a beautiful day in Lyon.
Yeah.
In Lyon, a city that believes absolutely in the power of food, one name is everywhere. A name that brought honor, attention, and millions of visitors to the city. Though there have been many chef heroes in the annals of gastronomy, in Lyon and even across France, one name stands above all others. Murals, bridges, markets, casual brasserie, the name of Monsieur Paul is everywhere. But one of his most enduring institutions is this, l'Institut Bocuse, one of the nation's great culinary schools. Now, just to give you an idea of the standards here, the kind of traditional dishes, baseline, old school fundamentals you're expected to master before you move on to becoming a creative genius all your own, meet these guys. Mathieu Vianney, Joseph Viola, and the Institute's top dog, Alain Le Cossec, chefs and MOFs all, otherwise known as muffs.
Pretty much pay your flight home, private.
Master chefs.
Every 4 years, they have this MOF competition.
MOF is...
Meilleur ouvrier de France.
The master craftsman of France.
There's about 30 disciplines of craftsmen where you can acquire the MOF.
See that red, white, and blue around their necks? That means they made it through the brutally, unreasonably rigorous competition that pits hundreds of top chefs against each other, where only a handful survive.
So basically 4 or 5 every 4 years.
Certified by the highest in the land as being at the very top of their professions. Muff challenges often include ultra old school classics not unlike the one we're making today. Poulard en vessie. Thick slices of black truffle are slipped under the skin of a chicken from Bresse, the Rolls-Royce of chickens. It's then tied, slipped inside a pig's bladder, and steamed in court bouillon until tender.
The idea is to concentrate the flavor of the truffle inside the bladder. The dish they choose, it's always in reference to a chef of the past. And this was a dish La Mère Brasier was doing.
The at times brutal world of the Michelin star kitchen looks much of the time like a boys' club. But where did they come from? If we track back a bit to where it all began for Lyon and for many of the chefs whose names we now know and look up to, it all goes back to here. La Mère Brasier, the godmother, the original master, teacher, chef, force. 2 restaurants with 3 Michelin stars, an achievement no one, male or female, had ever attained, and for many years, Lyon's most famous chef. Her influence runs right through every kitchen that's come since, and her graduates carry on her recipes and her traditions. This was one of hers, a signature.
For the next hour, you keep putting hot bouillon like this. The most miserable thing is when the bladder explodes.
It's never a good thing when a bladder explodes.
As the chicken cooks, the bladder starts to really expand. You have to talk to your bladder.
I do all the time, believe me. Please hold up, please hold up. We're not here. People are looking. Wait till you get in between cars.
A rather luxurious sauce of much more black truffle and generous amounts of foie gras and triple cream. Perfect.
Nice milkshake.
Slightly pink around the legs, but cooked through, the flesh perfumed by the generous slices of truffle.
Who gets to eat like this? We do.
How is it, Tony?
It's divine.
You see the perfect balance in the sauce. If I was a chicken, that's the way I would like to end up.
Even if I weren't a chicken, I'd want to go like this. guys surrounded by truffles and foie gras and fine wine. Bonté et merci.
The roaring of a powerful engine, the screech of rubber, and off we go, kings of the road in our Citroën 2 Chevaux, 2 horsepower classic.
No power steering, huh?
No kidding.
It's like a toy car.
We're going back in time a bit, to the area where Danielle grew up, where life was very different from New York.
Were you the misfit of the family, rebellious, or?
I was quite rebellious. My parents were talking to me about the idea of taking over the farm. As the oldest son, that would have been the logical thing.
Right,
and
but the farmer's life was not for you.
No.
He grew up in a true farm family. You milked the cows, tended the animals. Danielle claims he never even saw processed food until he was a teenager.
Oh.
Il est à la poubelle, ta voiture. J'en ai des garbage, tu vois.
A brief respite by the side of the road, and some passers-by are apparently less appreciative of fine automobiles than we are. A short consultation with an automotive professional, and we're back on the road. Back, in this case, to school. This was Danielle's old elementary school in the nearby town of Saint-Pierre-de-Chandieu. I'm automatically taken back to memories of my own school days. The smell of caustic pine cleaner, chalkboards, and fear. The cruel ministrations of tiny-eyed lunch ladies slopping can loads of prison chow into steam tables. Chipped beef, tuna noodle surprise, and powdered mashed potatoes that haunt my sense memories still.
Pumpkin soup today with onion, nutmeg, and chicken stock, but basic good pumpkin soup.
This is Marie, head chef, cook, host, and server for 320 hungry and very discriminating French school children ages 3 to 12. On the menu prix fixe today, a pumpkin soup, a fresh blanquette de poisson with white wine, vanilla, and shallot, served with homemade couscous, and a sauce supreme.
This is a very sophisticated meal for children.
That's a nice meal.
I was a little shit in school, frankly.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the other students, we were like, I want pizza, pizza, pizza. Are the children here open to variety?
Oui, beaucoup. Enfin, ils aiment bien, ils mangent très bien.
You want to make sure that they always get a little challenged by how the food looks, then the smell, and also the taste after. I think she has a very strict budget.
In the USA, greatest country in the world, no doubt, we spend an average of $2.75 per student for public school lunch. Compare and contrast.
€1.05 maximum.
$1.50.
Did you eat this well when you were here?
Absolutely.
Je m'appelle Tony. Bonjour. Bonjour.
Bonjour, Daniel. Ça va?
The kids attack their food like hungry trenchermen, wiping out 3 servings in the time it takes me to eat 1. I guess they like it.
It's good.
Delicious.
Yeah, this is good.
I tell you, I don't think my chef in New York will do better.
I love they cook with wine, too. You're going to jail for that in the States.
Exactly, I'm making the sauce.
Crap, these kids eat fast. But look how fast this kid eats. Turn your head, they'll eat your soup right out of your plate. My school lunchroom, you pushed up your tray just like in prison. Stop.
Here.
Move it along. Stop.
Yeah, here
Move it along.
They come to you and serve you. Most important thing, and that we see here, is the love Marie gives to the food she makes and to the kids she serves. I think it has a lot to do with the reaction they have to food.
Dessert is homemade fromage blanc, farmer cheese, with chocolate and orange segments.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Yeah, veterinarian. Fireman. Et toi, tu veux quoi? Engineering, machine gun.
He wants to make machine guns?
Engineer in machine gun, yeah.
Okay, keep an eye on that one. All right.
For a dope fiend, feeding the monkey means finding and sticking with heroin. For one poor guy, it's this: French food, in particular, Lyonnais food. The cautionary tale of Bill Buford. Writer, editor, literary lion with a perfectly good job as fiction editor at the prestigious New Yorker magazine. At the undignified age of 53, he pretty much pulled up stakes, put his whole past life on hold, and defected to France to learn how to cook.
What happened to you anyway, Buford? You used to have a good job. You hang out a couple of nights with Batali, and then next thing you know, you're living in France.
It's true.
And cooking.
I discovered a whole world that the rest of the world didn't seem to know about. Just a very compressed, intense, lifelong learned expertise and knowledge of food. It's not the Food Network, and it's not glossy magazines, and it's not something you get from reading a recipe book. It's something you get by just going deep. And I was afraid of France because I knew if I took on the subject of French food, I'd have to go really deep. So we went, and we thought we'd stay for 6 months, and we stayed for 5 years.
We meet at Bouchon Comptoir à Belle. A bouchon is a uniquely Lyonnais institution, a casual, laid-back kind of a pub/bistro with a limited, usually old-school menu, and always, always an unpretentious vibe. People come here to unwind, to relax, and to eat with abandon.
So you say outright recently in one of your published works that Lyon is better than Paris.
Lyon is a dark, tragic, beautiful, well-eating city, and everybody here knows that they have a really good life, and they don't give a flying fig if anybody else knows about it. They don't actually want visitors.
If you were to pick one iconic dish to represent the Bouchon Lyonnais, it would have to be the quenelle brochet, a not particularly fabulous river fish, pike, folded into a light dough like pâte choux until fluffy and airy but still rich, adrift in a rich, creamy, almost bisque-like Nantua sauce made with crayfish, creme fraiche, white wine, and a splash of brandy.
Pretty amazing for really one of the world's less wonderful fish.
It's kind of a nice mix of France and Italy.
Cheers.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Good to see you.
What a treat to meet together in Lyon.
If you're really going to understand a place, love it the way it deserves to be loved, maybe you have to live there. Bill Buford did just that and made Lyon his home. Today he's taking me somewhere only someone from the home team could be expected to know about.
It's a beautiful day. The sky is blue. We're feeling the seasons changing, and we're about to go into a dark room, and you eat a very Lyonnais menu, and you drink a vast quantity of Lyonnais wine.
And what sinister bodies will be in there?
The only kind of people who would do this kind of thing on a bright, pretty day. It's a very male tradition. You work hard, you drink harder. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
The mysterious, fabulous, goofy, wonderful bro fests called Franc-Machons. These are basically eating and drinking societies that go back over a century, when the silk workers of Lyon would finish their night shifts early in the morning. Hungry and looking to get, shall we say, completely hammered, they'd take over a bouchon, stuff their faces like heroes, blow off the proverbial steam in decidedly French fashion. Which is to say, no freaking Italian nachos or mozzarella sticks for these boys. Hell no.
How often do you do this?
8 times a year. It's a very Lyonnais thing, societies, some secret, all of them sort of like special memberships. There must be like 50 of these things that I know about. Remember, if you're invited to be a member, and remain a member for the rest of your life.
The food is invariably deliciously dinosauric, and heavy, yet always glorious classics like blanquette de veau, the slow, slowly stewed neck and shoulder pieces of veal with mushrooms served over rice. Hunks of bread and wine, local Beaujolais of course, and lots of it.
Santé.
Santé.
Santé.
That's all.
No politics, no religion.
And it works. For 50 years.
Yes.
Do women have mashal, their own organizations?
Yes.
There are. So somewhere on the other side of town, there were a lot of women sitting around drinking wine, eating blanquette, and bitching about the men. Uh-oh.
And then there will be, yes, singing, and no doubt the telling of lusty jokes, followed by serious official business.
Buffet. Il n'avait ni riche buffet, ni verre de Venise. Il buvait un tonneau. Comme les fous, mon bleu, il y a autrement que nous.
Alongside, and some say above the names of the other culinary giants in and around Lyon, is the name Trois Gros. Started by the visionary brothers Jean and Pierre, Maison Trois Gros received 3 Michelin stars in 1968 and sparked a dynasty of culinary excellence that continues today with Pierre's son Michel and his son César.
My dream was always to put Maison Trois Gros on my resume. It's my first day chez Trois Gros.
Anthony, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Comment allez-vous?
Très bien.
Many have called Maison Trois Gros the best restaurant in the world, and in the 60s, the brothers Pierre and Jean were early, important, and fundamental innovators of what came to be known as Nouvelle Cuisine. Behold one of their breakout classics, one of the truly game-changing, timeless, most influential dishes in history. It seems now maybe a simple thing, but it absolutely turned the world upside down when it debuted on the Trois Gros menu in 1962.
I mean, when you have a dish this legendary, this iconic, there's no escaping. The Rolling Stones will always have to play Jumping Jack Flash. If you Google Trois Gros, you'll see this name.
So forget everything you have on Google. Watch it now. Okay.
Before this, fish was generally overcooked. It was served alongside elaborate garnishes, starches, vegetables. This simple, elegant, almost Japanese ode to flavor changed the way we cook fish in restaurants today, and how we make sauces, what our plates look like.
I remember seeing a picture of this as a young man. I'm getting goosebumps seeing this. Thrilling. Perfect.
See that. Beautiful.
It's all about the timing. The moment you put the fish on the pan, the moment you put the sauce on the sauce, it's very important.
Okay. Wow. Go. All right.
Then, from now to you in the dining room, it take about 1 minute.
Right.
So, the 1 minute is the time to have it perfect.
Because it's cooking all the way.
Look at the cuisson.
Oh, perfect. It's a perfect dish.
Sinful and delicious.
It's really one of the great ideas of the 20th century.
Sensual.
Sexy.
When in Lyon, one can't help but see a line from there, from the rustic dishes of the farm and the bouchon, to here, the classics of the great tables of Europe. All roads lead here. A major trunk of the tree that goes back to Carême and beyond. Monsieur Paul Bocuse. The Brigade. The way it is done and has always been done since Escoffier instituted a military-style hierarchy into the kitchen. where the only acceptable response to any question or any command is "Oui, chef." This is the Special Forces, the SAS of cooking. And these cooks live to avoid, under any circumstances, disappointing their comrades, the hierarchy, or Monsieur Paul. Danielle worked here, and so have many, many who have gone on to run their own celebrated kitchens.
Hello, comment ça va? Vous allez bien?
In the 70s, as a young wannabe cook, I managed to lay hands on a French copy of Paul Bocu's classic cookbook, La Cuisine de Marseille. And I gaped with wonder at the photos, struggled to translate the descriptions of dishes so fantastic I was quite sure I'd never, ever in my life cook, much less eat.
Paul.
If you could please say how honored and grateful I am to be here. This is a dream come true.
Paul, tu sais qu'il est très honoré.
Over the years, how many great chefs have come through this restaurant and gone on to open great restaurants?
Beaucoup.
Oui.
C'est pas, mais pas mal. Ce qui est formidable, il y en a un peu dans le monde entier. Je dis quand je voyage, j'en trouve toujours un.
You always have a child somewhere around the world because everywhere he goes around the world.
But Bocuse, too, is and was a part of the system. He came up with his own cruel and terrifying masters, and their faces are here.
L'histoire pour Paul, ses inspirations.
Fernand Point, the towering and intimidating figure behind La Pyramide. Out of his kitchens came such figures as Alain Chapelle, Michel Guérard, François Bise, Roger Verger, Georges Perrier, the brothers Trois Gros, and many more.
This was all the gang of the Nouvelle Cuisine up there. The 60s in New York. And Paul and Michel Guérard.
Every great chef I've ever met has nightmares. They're still a young man. They're back in a kitchen, and a chef is yelling at them. Who of his masters?
Peut-être la mère Brasier.
La mère Brasier, the woman.
Really?
Oui.
La Mère Brasier. In the year 1946, at the ripe old age of 20, Monsieur Paul worked as an apprentice for Brasier.
She was such a screamer. He said, "You will fall on your ass." She was screaming so hard.
Première levée.
She was the first up in the morning.
Et dernière couchée.
And the last one to go to bed. She will go to the market with 3 cooks in the back of the truck, and she will put a case of green beans or something, and the cook will be sitting down, making the beans not to waste time for the rest of the mise en place.
Truly a terrifying figure.
Truffle soup Élysée. I can't tell you how many hours I stared at photos of this dish, how pathetically I tried to replicate it. Never, ever did I think I'd get to try it, much less like this. Loup en croûte feuilletée avec sauce choron. Sea bass with a tomato béarnaise sauce baked in a meticulously crafted millefeuille crust.
This is a great moment.
Ils ont que 3 caméras.
Yeah, you only have 3 cameras? Or...
The fish is filled with a delicate lobster mousse, chervil, and tarragon, then wrapped carefully in pastry. Notice, please, the careful and expert tableside carving and service.
Nous, ça fait 50 ans qu'on fait les mêmes plats.
He has been making the same thing for 50 years. Paul has an amazing respect for classic.
A pot au feu, the peasant classic.
Tony, get closer.
You were totally sending me every one of those pictures, by the way. Wow, look at that. This style of dish goes back long before cameras, but it's perfect. Is there a more perfect assortment of colors and textures?
In this one, a somewhat more luxurious version. Beef shanks, flank steak, oxtail, veal shanks, chicken, marrow bones, beef ribs, leeks, carrots, turnips, fennel, and parsnips, all stewed long and at low temperature, then served with its own deeply rich broth.
Think is enough for the 2 of us?
And then this.
Oh my God.
Messieurs, le lièvre à la royale.
As if the chef had been listening to my deepest, darkest secret yearnings. the legendary lièvre à la royale, an almost completely disappeared, incredibly difficult preparation of wild hare. The animal is first slowly cooked, then coated by a sauce of its own minced heart, liver, and lungs that has been thickened with its own blood. After more than 6 hours of preparation, the hare is served as the chef prefers, whole on the bone. The rich, glorious sauce finished with truffles and chartreuse, napped over and over until it coats like richest chocolate. Absolutely the lost ark of the covenant of cuisine ancienne.
Everything great about cooking is encapsulated in this dish.
We will continue all over the world to make cuisine of Paul many generations to come.
Forever. I will never eat like this again in my life. Chef, merci.
J'étais très heureux de vous recevoir.
The meal of my life.
Today, I was treated to the greatest hits of a glorious and fabled career. For the first and probably the last time, I sat next to the great man himself, and Danielle and I were served a menu that chefs will look back on in 100 years and smile at appreciatively, sentimentally, respectfully. So, me and Danielle were going hunting, and over lunch we'd mentioned that fact to Paul Bocuse, who immediately insisted that if we wanted to go duck hunting, we should come by his crib. And so we find ourselves in the morning mist of Les Dômes, a rural area about a half hour outside Lyon. And sure enough, in spite of his 88 years and the fact that he's been less than well, 9 a.m. on the nose, there he is, sitting on top of his beloved John Deere with his faithful dog Passedat ready to go.
Nice, fresh morning.
Yeah, I was just thinking, the smell is beautiful. That dog is happy.
The great chef loves this place, and you can see why. Monsieur Paul can't safely hunt, but he's happy to charge around flushing birds for us.
Beautiful. Yeah, it is beautiful. I could do this all day. That was about as good as we're gonna get, too.
You got bulletproof or wild boar?
If you look long enough, you start hallucinating. You start hallucinating ducks where there aren't any.
You see that one falling?
Okay, not a moment to waste. Quickly, a second shot.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Allez.
Right there.
Là-bas, sous le pont.
Festin.
Oh, festin, là, là, là.
Between me and Danielle and Festin the dog, we managed to actually bag a few ducks.
Good job. Done là, yalla, festin. Very good.
But easy shot.
Then it's back to the lodge, clearly Bocuse's happy place, where we meet up with some hunting buddies of the great chef.
You did a good job, no? Qu'est-ce que t'en penses, Tony?
Success.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Is this the hunting lodge, the weekend getaway, hang out with the guys?
That's where you come every day, almost. Hein? Tu viens pratiquement ici tous les jours.
Un peu moins maintenant, mais autrement tout le temps.
Yeah, a little
Il y a
bit
toujours,
less.
on piège beaucoup.
Look the picture behind. You see?
For tonight's meal, we pluck and roast some woodcocks over an open fire. Cook up some well-aged duck and pheasant.
They made this at the Auberge Paul Bocuse. It's a Swiss star mashed potato here.
Is it predominantly butter or predominantly potato?
Whoa.
Do you have a head in there somewhere?
Yes, of course. Yeah, no.
That's perfect happiness right there. My father used to say, I am a man of simple needs. And I noticed that the chef is a nice fire, some birds.
We can spend the whole week with Paul, and we'll be hunting, we'll be cooking, we'll be eating, drinking, and talking, and that's beautiful. Ah ouais, en plus.
Life is good. It is for me a dream to spend this time with a legend. But I'm thrilled that Bocuse too seems genuinely delighted.
Le rougeau. The duck you shot was a rougeau. You see, is the one behind you on the top there? Yeah.
In Lyon, well across France, he's Monsieur Paul. He's the great chef, a public figure, a hero, an institution, always treated with the greatest deference. Here it appears he's free to enjoy the simple things with friends and local farmers who talk to him like anybody else. It's a pretty damn magical thing to see.
La lumière bleue des magasins.
Daniel may be a 3-star Michelin chef, but like so many of his predecessors, he's basically a farm boy at heart. He grew up milking cows and doing farm work here on his family's spread. There is, it turns out, something of a restaurant tradition to build on. The house on his farm was once a small cafe as well, operated first by his grandparents and great-grandparents. The famous Café Boulou, it turns out, was not the first place to bear that name.
They kept it about 80 years or 100 years, and then they closed it.
Voilà. 5 minutes, et parfait. No.
Meeting Daniel's dad, one begins to understand the roots of his perfectionism.
Bien calculé, hein?
Très bien calculé.
His mom, dad, wife Catherine, and Danielle collaborate.
Attends. Oui.
With some debate.
Il y a un petit peu au milieu encore.
On a super old-school farmhouse classic. The sort of thing that good times, bad times, a family could make with stuff that's always readily available on the farm. Check this out. It's a hollowed-out pumpkin layered with toasted hunks of stale country bread, which Monsieur Boulou Sr. bakes himself. Nutmeg, grated Gruyere cheese, mushrooms, fresh cream from the cows, and the meat of the pumpkin.
And a layer of bacon also. Homemade pancetta. Very good. Oh man, it's heavy.
Ça, repasser. Oui, voilà. Attention, pas de salir.
We made it.
Is he concerned that the pumpkin's going to try to get out?
Daniel's dad could be something of a Gallic MacGyver. You don't waste stuff around here, and he's a bit of an inventor anyway.
How much would you pay for a machine like this?
Look at this. An old washing machine turned still.
What the hell is that?
Regarde, une fois que c'est commencé, ça va.
So underneath we have the grap, but to seal it so there is no air coming in, there's cement on top. It's not distilled yet, it's just fermented.
Leftover grape solids from the winemaking process usually used to make liquor like grappa. Today, a different use. If we can get it out of here.
Why did you put so much cement on it?
L'odeur.
This is funky. Super.
We'll be using this delightfully funky stuff to flavor the steam that cooks the vegetables and the Passedat sausages from Monsieur Renan inside the still.
And we come back in an hour.
At dusk, we settle for dinner.
Oh la la!
Oh, look at that.
Here is the pumpkin.
Incredible. Look at that. Wow.
The pumpkin is amazing. We also have that great Passedat sausage from Monsieur Renan.
Oh, look at that. Whoa.
cabbage, and potatoes, all steamed in the still.
The flavor you get from the fermented grape, awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, huh?
But good. So good.
And if you know Daniel at all, he can't really help himself. He's popping up and down, serving everybody, making sure everything's just right. And sitting here with his family in the house he grew up in, you can see where it all comes from.
Madame and Monsieur, their son, he's now gigantic international success. When he was a young man at 14 sneezing in the field, did they ever anticipate this?
Du tout.
No? No early indications of greatness? But I mean, there is a line, isn't there, from the farm and haute cuisine. They all reflect the region, hopefully.
Yeah.
But in the best case, they're interdependent. They come from each other. In fact, who cooks in the great restaurants? Well, farm boys, basically.
Yeah.
That's who always cooked. My deepest thanks to your mother and your father. Thank you.
Merci.
Next time, my father make you drive the tractor.
deixa a pretinha pra mim. Eva, me leva pra praia, eu quero ver. Eva, me leva pra
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la la la la, sha la la la la la, sha la la la la, sha la la la la la.
In Bahia, you find yourself in the heart of Brazil, where the magic comes from. If you want to get there, just follow the sound of the drums. This is Salvador da Bahia, city of 3 million people, first capital of Brazil, the wellspring for everything African and spicy, where things seem to just sway and move constantly. It's a place where everybody is sexy, where even the ugly people are hot. Unsurprisingly, this is where artists come from. African spiritualism, occult magic, candomblé, capoeira.
Caipirinha.
And caipirinhas. Did I mention caipirinhas? They do those here too. I like them. I like them a lot.
What's magical about this cocktail is the first taste, it's like, I don't know, man. It's a little too something. And then like that second sip, it's like, oh, that's kind of good. Then the third sip, it's, where are my pants?
Fortunately, food in these parts tends to be, shall we say, hearty. For instance, a delightful meal of fried meat with plenty of absorbent starch product like farofa, the perfect accompaniment to many, many caipirinhas.
Oh, excellent. Obrigado. Now we're talking. It's a tough town for vegetarians. Oh, chorizo, good. And I'll have 6 more of these, please. people are staring at me and say, look at that. The heave and hump of an American, how much he's eating. Just line him up, my friend. Right here. Over here. Yeah. So nice walking around here. The audio component's really amazing. There's always drums somewhere.
Isso para mim é uma coisa que me faz me movimentar. Eu gosto de encontrar lugares, descobrir pessoas, descobrir histórias, descobrir tudo que está acontecendo dentro da cidade. E é isso, eu vivo isso o tempo todo.
Welcome to Salvador, my friend.
Good to be here. Again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Love it here.
Wow, please, one cup for you, man. Oh, come on, Joe. Welcome to Salvador, right?
Thank you.
What a good see.
This is Claudio and Marilia. It's good to have friends at a place like Salvador. In fact, you're pretty much lost without them.
Saúde. Aqui na garrafa for next stop.
Right.
Cool.
Tuesday night in Palo.
Yeah, man. And the Tuesday night is very interesting. Many people come to church first.
Right.
Next, going to drink around, right? Try something, listen good music. And the corner here, man.
People have to work tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's Brazil, right?
Yeah, it's Brazil, but you have this kind of behavior
Right.
here in Pelourinho, but not in whole city.
So how different is Salvador from Rio and Sao Paulo?
Man, Salvador is a mother, you know. The music here, the candomblé, the architecture, this area is amazing, man.
It is.
It's amazing. And then for eat, drink, history, memory, anything.
Pelourinho, Pelo for short, was Salvador during the Portuguese colonial period. It's almost always a party, a series of parties actually, but tonight is special.
Oh, look at the smell, man.
Smells good.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Is it good?
So where to next?
Go to the stair.
Yeah.
I like to bring in you today because coming here, people everywhere. This is our free party. You can dance, you can drink your beer everywhere. It's cool to see the show inside. It's amazing. Woo! That.
What is it?
It's a cravinho, clove and a mix of honey, lemon.
Alcohol?
Yes.
Alcohol of unknown origin dispensed from atop the head of the stranger?
Oh,
that's good.
That's good?
Mama always said that was a good idea.
Viva Salvador!
I don't know if it's the booze or the music or the tropical heat, but after a while bouncing from place to place, wandering down old cobblestone streets, different music issuing from everywhere, a different party, people flowing out of buildings, one gathering commingling with another, the music mixing. It really does seem that everybody is moving to some mysterious, unknowable pulse, some unheard throb that moves people to constantly touch each other, stroke hips, necks, limbs. it is useful to know that of over 12 million Africans dragged, ripped, and kidnapped from their homelands, nearly 5 million ended up in Brazil. 1.5 million of them in Bahia alone. Pelourinho became the locus of a vast infrastructure of plantations and the slave trade that powered them, making this city in northeastern Brazil the most opulent in the New World. Pelourinho, it's worth pointing out, gets its name from the whipping post. 100 years after slavery was outlawed in Brazil, Pelourinho had been forgotten. But of course, the neighborhood had its charms. If you were an artist, a musician, a writer, you could afford to live here. Cheap rent for longtime locals, or shiny new art galleries and hipster cafes. We know which way the current of history runs.
Eu vivo aqui pensando como sobreviver. O mundo vai girando e o novo sol vai nascer. E as pedras vão rolando ao amanhecer. E a gente acreditando que o novo sol vai nascer. Seus olhos puros e ardentes, clareando minha mente, eu vivo sonhar sempre com você. Musa inspiradora, não me deixe só. Preciso de você para criar o reflexo da vida e mostrar para o mundo a verdade no corpo e na alma, antes que seja tarde demais.
Here, though, one man stands alone. Jaime Figura, a poet, sculptor, painter, musician. Now, perhaps, his own greatest artistic creation. He's chosen to hide his face from view and to stand in opposition, an eyesore, a rebuke, a defiant, guar-like embarrassment to the occupiers.
As he dresses now, this is for protection, but as I understand, also protest.
E essa sua forma é uma forma de protesto também?
Foi porque eu perdi meu emprego. Além de perder meu emprego, de ter rasgado meu paletó, roupa, porra toda, entendeu? Ainda vi uns filha da puta de lá da periferia me bater, entendeu? Me agredir, achando que eu tava errado, que eu era isso e aquilo, entendeu? Aí piorou mais a situação. Aí coloquei a máscara de ferro, entendeu?
It's a kind of protest, but also protection. You know?
Who's the enemy?
Quem são os inimigos? Ele tá perguntando quem são.
Os inimigos são todos.
Everyone.
Quem vê cara não vê coração.
You see face, you not see heart, né?
How long have you been wearing the armor? How long?
Há 46 anos atrás.
46 years.
46 years. You know? That was a long time ago. You ever go to the beach?
Eu gosto de ficar na sombreira só.
No sun. Only shadow
Only the
beer,
darkness.
and beer. No
You're
sun.
goth, dude.
Whisky com água de coco.
Whiskey and coconut, but not sun. No sun.
Mas entrar na água não vou, não.
Not water, not sun.
Just down from where we're sitting, Jaime's Pelourinho studio. His water and power have been shut off, but he insists he's going nowhere.
Brazil is supposed to be about what? Music, dancing, sun, hot women. Does he reject those things? Does he think that's bull?
É que eu tô no país errado, tô na cidade
It's
errada.
the wrong country, he tells.
É, aconteceu.
I am in the wrong country.
Where would the perfect place be?
A cidade do rock.
The Rock City.
Rock City. That's Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit, Rock City. What music inspires him?
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, though. I think they're touring, actually.
Que mais?
Nirvana.
Nirvana. Metallica?
Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Metallica, Beethoven.
Carlos, what do you think about all this? I think anybody who comes here recognizes immediately that this is a really uniquely extraordinary and, despite many problems, a uniquely wonderful, magical place.
It's a magical place, but also for us, for me and for him. Here is a place where many people, black people, have suffered. There is still one kind of karma of this old history here, you know?
So what is the real Pelourinho?
Qual é o Pelourinho real? Ele tá querendo saber qual
O Pelourinho real somos nós.
We are
que frequentamos
the real
aqui,
Pelourinho. We are.
dia a dia, dando vida a essa merda. entendeu?
Give life for the... We are the real Pelourinho.
Meu nome é Jaime Figura. Eu estou aqui no Pelourinho, na Babilônia, a nossa Babilônia, que ninguém vai tomar, é tudo nosso. Na verdade, eu gosto de vocês, entendeu? Só que tem umas pulguinhas que ficam me enchendo o saco, atrapalhando minha vida, entendeu? Mas eu tô aqui pra fazer meu rock and roll e meu lugar é aqui, no Pelourinho!
I don't like pina coladas, but I like walking in the rain. I like wandering through markets as much as the next guy, but what I really like are neurotoxins. In Japan, they call it fugu. Yeah, its eyes, ovaries, and internal organs are just packed full of varying amount of toxins. And some hysterical ninnies will tell you that tetrodotoxin present in the blowfish is 1,200 times more potent than cyanide. And they'll tell you how if it's consumed, you remain conscious while your muscles gradually become paralyzed and death, like a slow-moving freight train, looms closer and closer. And whatever you do, just make sure you cut out that liver. I say, bull.
So, we're eating blowfish.
Yeah, it's an adventure.
Like the Japanese, they like the poison stuff?
I know, yeah.
So do they, but they remove the liver and the skin and all
It's
that?
supposed to be removed properly.
Right, properly, right. I saw a Simpsons episode, I think.
This guy make it great.
Poisonous blowfish moqueca recipe. Add to said fish, lemon, coriander, onion, tomato, coconut milk, dende oil, cover, and simmer. I am confident in this cook I don't know. And in this man, Bel Bourba, my host and an aficionado of this dish.
Smelling good.
Bon appétit, monsieur.
Thank you.
There's a lot of pepper, huh?
Oh, yeah, good pepper. Nice and spicy. I can't feel my legs. Is that a bad thing?
Bel is an artist, after all, a very famous one. So he knows about neurotoxins. He comes from a long tradition of artists who have found inspiration in Bahia.
Is there something about Salvador you think that it's conducive to an artistic sensibility? I mean, there's so much color here and music and...
Lights, the light here is beautiful.
The light is really special. The bill, I mean, just the colors of the city are amazing. The colors of the people are amazing, and the way they move.
They move.
I don't know, when I first came here, I thought, everybody in this city looks like they just got, or they're on their way to go. So this was the Central Market back before supermarkets. This is where everybody did their shopping, right?
Oh, yes. You know what? This is the real Brazilians here. The real Bahias.
Right.
This place is the intestine of the city. They sell shrimps and stuff here, oil and stuff. This kind of oil we call dende, palm oil.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever, however you want to call it.
And I love the dende oil. You know, it takes some getting used to. The first time I was here, you know, you eat it, you shit like a mink for hours afterwards. But now, no problems. I've been eating this all week, loving it. We're on your 5th time in Brazil.
You're developing resistance, man.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're sure it's good.
There you go, buddy. Hope you like spicy. He's a Brazilian cat. He's got to like spicy.
Oh, muito obrigado, meu amor.
A little cachaça?
Yes.
Told you. Yeah, that'll set you right.
I think now you're protected from the poison.
Right. We're coming up to the World Cup, and I think a lot of people are going to be reading about crime and all of that. How do you think it's going to go, the World Cup? Disaster, or it's going to somehow work out?
I think it'll be a success. It'll be a successful.
You think it'll be a success?
I'm sure of it.
Salvador is one of the host cities for the 2014 World Cup. A huge stadium has recently been completed, but a lot of people are worried, concerned, if Brazil is ready. I've been told thousands of prostitutes are studying tourist-appropriate languages in preparation. So probably a lot of people are going to get laid, a lot of people are going to get robbed, a lot of people are going to get laid and robbed.
Have you ever been here in Carnival?
No.
It's a,
Well, that's
the World Cup beside Carnival.
And that works out, right? That's not a slaughter fest.
It's a breakfast.
Right.
I think it happens, but it works.
I think Salvador in particular is a place where,
May I?
no matter, thank you, no matter what, people should come. Even people who are afraid to travel, who said, oh, well, but I hear, no, you know what, live your life, man. Come, you should not miss a place like this, because there aren't a lot of places in the world that even come close to this.
Look our food. Today, I invited you to have this dish. We're not doing no die because
I'm pretty sure
we are not born to die.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mr. Muffin Stuff over here is going to suddenly jump on me and start clawing my face.
If the poison was active, she was dead.
Ooh, I didn't think of that. My little, I shall call you Canary.
We are not born for dying.
No.
O mar, o pescador, Salvador, tudo é junto. Sem o mar, não somos ninguém. Isso aí é uma paixão. O mar é uma paixão. Você vai lá uma vez, você não quer sair mais. E os pescadores que vivem disso aí, isso aí é a vida da gente. A vida do pescador. O pescador gosta disso. Se não tiver o mar, quando ele está revolto, olha, o pescador sofre, porque ele não consegue viver sem o mar, mesmo ele não indo lá e não conseguindo nada. Mas ele tem que estar no mar, porque é a vida dele. E sem o mar não tem vida.
The Bay of All Saints, a vast natural harbor, allowed Salvador to prosper. Tucked along its shore, if you look hard enough, you'll find a small grouping of shacks roofed in corrugated tin. This is where a local fishermen's association brings their catch to sell to wholesalers and then relax after a long day on the water. Catch of the day, the prized big red snapper. Rub with sea salt, lemon, olive oil. Grill over charcoal. Enjoy view.
So everybody here is fishermen?
Todo mundo aqui são pescadores.
Pescadores profissionais.
Pescadores autênticos.
Meet Maloka, a very special guy. He's been working as our head of security, and as for reasons that are immediately obvious, he enjoys respect and reputation on the streets. But he also comes out of this neighborhood, and these guys are his friends.
How's business now? I mean, a lot of fish out there? Fishing business good?
Como é o negócio agora? O mar dá certo, traz monte de...
Olha, não, agora tá razoável. Tem época que também dá um pouco, tem época que não dá nada, tem época que também ganha mais um pouco.
Lunch wouldn't be complete without a delicious spicy salsa of garlic, tomato, onions, and peppers. On the side, some deep-fried little smelts. Don't forget the beer and the cachaça. And enjoy.
Very nice. Yeah, that'll work. It looks like a big grouper.
Big. It's a big redfish today.
Avisa que é pimenta, viu? E aí o povo come.
Ele sabe.
I have to advise you that
It's spicy.
spicy.
What's everybody, beer or cachaça?
Os dois.
Both.
Esse é o homem, rapaz. Esse é o mais velho pescador daqui. Ele é o mais velho pescador.
Still working?
O senhor ainda está trabalhando?
Ele vem da pescaria agora.
Trabalha mais do que todos aqui.
You work more than all of them.
Não reme com a língua.
They use a line or net?
Linhazol, mão.
Hand line.
Mais simple is just the hand around a piece of wood like that.
Right.
And take like that.
They don't cut the hands?
Always cut the hands.
Fishing anywhere is hard, and the way these guys do it particularly hard. Mostly hand lines from small boats. Just look at these hands.
Okay. You're a hard man, literally.
Tipo de comer ou...
Estamos esperando por isso.
Dá meu prato, por favor.
Yeah, that's what I want right here. Oh yeah, jackpot. But that's, if you'll pardon the expression, some good head.
The fisherman loves the head.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's the best part for them.
Ele sabe comer, viu?
Sabe.
Ele sabe comer.
Tuna. Looking good. You can just throw him right on the barbie. Man, it's a good piece of fish. Beautiful. In Rio, if you're anything less than perfectly cut, you feel terrible going to the beach. You never want to go to the beach. Here, I can frolic in a Speedo and feel pretty good about myself. They let it all hang out here.
Chegou a barriga, hein? Olha aqui o jacobá, marapuama, viague pra mim, o leite de camelo com pó da ilha, hein?
Caipirinha?
Ah, the caipirinha man. This indispensable icon of Brazilian beach culture is known to start with fresh lime. Muddle and mash with more lime juice, sugar, ice. The magic ingredient, cachaça. That's basically the distilled liquor of the sugar cane. Shaken, not stirred, and you got yourself one of the world's truly great cocktails. A utility beverage good for any time of day or any social occasion.
Very satisfying. They do these toasted cheese things here. Awesome. If there's anything, casual, if there's anything better than cheese, it's semi-melted cheese. Like, what's the best part of French onion soup? It's the little burnt bits of cheese around the edge. Obrigado. Oh, yeah. It's just as good as it looks. Look at this line. These guys are famous.
A carragé. I've had it before. I have had it here, in fact. These ladies make it good. Really good. The clothes go back to the newly freed slaves who now were able to practice their religion and began selling the carragé to support the candomblé community. What is a carragé? Behold, a paste, a batter, a falafel-like wad of smushed up black-eyed peas, seasoned with ground dried shrimp and onions, deep-fried till crispy and golden in some chili-spiked dende oil. Already, if you're a rookie, you're guaranteed some quality time on the porcelain bus real soon. On the top, you got your vatapá, which is sort of a shrimp curry paste, and your tomato salad. Your fried shrimp, your camarão frito, a must.
All right, beautiful.
Don't forget the hot chili oil. And prepare for liftoff.
Really good.
When millions of Africans were taken by force to Brazil, the traditions, the musical roots they had, instruments they played, their gods, and their food came with them. In the days of slavery, you had to hide that stuff, whether it was your religion or your self-defense skills.
So, tell me about capoeira.
It was a kind of martial art. But in the beginning of 19th century, capoeira became more like a game, and the music instruments were associated to the fight.
No hands, right? All feet and head? Why no hands?
We use the hands in just a few movements.
Where did that come from, and why do you think that became...
Some people say that this is inspired by the animal movements.
In a recent study observing the comparative destructive power between kicks from various martial arts of karate, Muay Thai, and Taekwondo, it was capoeira that packed the most ferocious impact. The colonial masters knew this and made it illegal for much of Brazil's history. Today, maestras like Janja and Paulinha teach capoeira in classrooms and on stages.
Originally, it was a male-dominated activity. When did that change?
Since the 60s, Master Janja and me, we start our process in the beginning of the 80s.
Right.
And nowadays we have hundreds of women practicing capoeira.
What was it like in the beginning? From the very first women who did it?
Mothers or fathers or the family,
Right.
you know, said that, well, capoeira is not for women. Why you decide to do this?
Afro-Brazilian cuisine is the result of many, many years of cooks experimenting with African and Portuguese dishes combined with local ingredients like seafood, chilies, coconut milk. This is Angelica's house, open one day a week as a restaurant serving her unique style of Bahian dishes.
Beautiful. Wow, look at that.
Looks very good.
Haja humor. How has being a master of capoeira, how has that changed the rest of your life?
I think it's changed a lot. Women in general, they don't learn to fight. Learning how to be involved in real fights, game and fight at the same time. We became more prepared to be involved in symbolic fight. And in our society, the women, they are not so well prepared like men.
It was purely African in the beginning, and now it's Afro-Brazilian form, is that correct?
All the instruments are African instruments.
Right. They're singing, a lot of singing, and it's important.
Yeah. And in Portuguese. But we, in our group and in Capoeira Angola, we start to include music from other African cultural traditions, including lyrics in African languages.
All of the things that we look at as Brazilian, from outside, looking in, the cuisine, samba, all of these things are very African in origin. And this is kind of where that all started, yes? I mean, I don't want to say it's the real Brazil. Everyone looks at Rio as the postcard Brazil, but here it's really, you feel it, those things.
It has to do with this big concentration of Africans since the beginning of the city. It's different.
Quando eu estou dentro de uma roda de capoeira, quando eu estou praticando capoeira, eu estou, na realidade, em busca de superação de uma série de desafios que são construídos a partir da nossa própria autoimagem, né? Você perceber como é que é você estando no mundo sem estar no mundo sozinho.
If, say, you found yourself in Brazil and had the chance to hire a boat, head for the beach with a bunch of new friends, bring along a skilled mixologist expertly trained in the fine arts of caipirinha making, why wouldn't you? Charge across the water, headed for a nice, quiet island, water up some sun to come out from behind dark clouds right about now. Sometimes cliches are cliches for a reason, because they're good ideas to start with, which is why people keep looking for them and doing them over and over. In a perfect world, upon reaching said enchanted island, you'd jump into the warm Atlantic waters. And if you could, you'd have a classic soundtrack to this adventure, like samba, for instance. Splash around for a while, maybe enjoy a nice cold beer or two.
You truly have not taken a beach until a man has set up the caipirinha station. Then you know the LZ is secure. I love nature, And caipirinhas. Whoa, what's going on here? Caipirinha.
Your glass.
Please. Sweet. This alone is an argument for the greatness of this country.
And what goes great with caipirinhas on the beach? How about some barbecue?
You eat it with the shell here, by the way, unless I'm mistaken. Please, Morrissey, don't eat me. Look in your heart. Don't eat me. Oh, no. Oh, not my head. Oh. Ah. Well.
To complete the picture, maybe a large fish, maybe some crab.
You know, anytime you get your Chinese, your Brazilians, and your Italians all agreeing on something, it's pretty clear it's a really good idea. Everybody agrees that this complicated-looking creature with all those troublesome shells is worth the work. So you tear off the little limbs. We'll get to you later, my friends. Rip out the tail. These are the lungs. You don't want them. Now you got all this nice fat in there. Oh, yeah. Now we're getting to the claw. Look at that. What's poking out of there? Oh, yeah. Pushed it through that little nubbin of goodness, like a celestial nipple. Oh. When people started demanding boneless stuff, like chicken without a bone, or crab meat without the actual crab, or lazy lobster, that was the beginning of the erosion of our society as we know it. If you're not willing to work for a payoff like this, how do you expect us to, like, fight Al-Qaeda if you can't suck the meat out of a crab? A character builder and delicious.
And if your perfect day really did happen, you'd probably let yourself be swept away by liquor and good food and gin-clear water, while all around you, horny Brazilians casually fondle each other, get all dozy, and fall asleep.